Nestled 2 hours into Parque Nacional Nahuel Huapi, Pampa Linda has been enchanting outdoor enthusiasts for over 100 years. Containing hundreds of kilometers of trekking trails, there are day hikes, multi-day hikes, and everything in between. The forest here is full of native, peaceful sounds. This is a big moment for me. Above us right now is my first peregrine falcon in the wild. This day of adventure proved to be one of our favorites in all of Patagonia. Welcome to a story about exploring Pampa Linda. During our 25K in Bariloche, every person we met recommended we spend a day hiking in Pampa Linda before we left town. We saved this adventure for when our friend Shelby came to visit. Shelby is our great friend from Florida who has come to adventure with us for a week in Patagonia. He's an adventurer, photographer, and mountaineer.
I walk in there and it's just this one guy who slams the door on me and another guy playing the guitar. And I'm like, necesito un aquí para trekking. But then he told me that there are 3 different hikes and asked which one we were doing. I just said we were doing the first one because that seemed like the one we were doing.
Probably. He seemed like a nice guy.
He was very nice. Yeah.
It was fun watching you have that conversation from afar.
Yeah, could you tell there wasn't a lot of communicating going on there?
The road is a one-way road to get up to Pampa Linda, and from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m., the road is closed going one direction, and then from 4 o'clock until 7:30, it's open going the other. Due to the early morning traffic, thank you Argentina, from 7:30 p.m. until 10:30 a.m., the road is 2 ways. Your best option is to get here as early as possible so you don't have to worry about the road closures. When you arrive, you can buy your tickets electronically using the Wi-Fi at the kiosk. After a very eventful 2-hour drive, we've officially made it to the entrance. We're not entirely sure where this trail begins, so we're following somebody that looks like she knows what she's doing. And we'll see how that works out for us. I think it's gonna be worth it though. Very cold here. We got out to pee like halfway through the long drive and it was a lot warmer. And now that we're here, and it's like snow covering the ground all over the place. It's chilly. I've got on 4 jackets and I'm freezing.
Here to the overlook. And we can come back, and if we want to climb the mountain, we can. Or we can go back and head down this way for as long as we want, it looks like.
It rained all day yesterday back at our house, so I can only imagine how much it rained here. Got a wet start to the hike.
Due to our time crunch with Shelby's flight, the hike we chose to do today was not a strenuous one. It was about 14 kilometers and 5 hours round trip with 300 meters of climb. We started the hike to Mirador Cantada Overa, a brisk, muddy, but very beautiful trail.
Pampa Linda began as a destination in 1920 when Bariloche's first doctor, Don Jose Emanuel, and his family settled here and began welcoming tourists to their cabin in the valley. In 1940, Bastillo opened an automobile road to Pampa Linda, and the first tea house was built shortly after. This area has been run by the same family ever since, expanding the hiking trails and sharing this beautiful nature with the world.
The first part of the trail is very lush and green. It's absolutely stunning as you're making your way to Pampa Linda. The longer we hiked, the more we fell in love with this trail, and we weren't even to the good stuff yet.
What's going on, Mara? Everything okay?
How does this not happen to everybody else?
1, 2, 3, 4, including a winter jacket. How many pairs of pants? 5?
All right, we're closing in on the viewpoint here. You can start to see the walls around us are kind of creeping in a little bit more. Everything's covered in snow, but you've also got this perfect amount of fall foliage, so it's just like the great mix between the two seasons. And the birds are going nuts, which also means Colin's going nuts. This is gonna be a bird channel before I know it.
This is a big moment for me. Above us right now is my first peregrine falcon in the wild. Somewhere up there.
Look how big that glacier is. Thank you to that random guy that we met but told us to come here. Definitely worth it. Wow. I think what's the coolest thing about this hike is the whole time you're hiking, you're going through the woods, so you can't see what the view is, you don't know where you're going, it's just getting colder. It's a steep incline, but not too steep, and you just open up and you're just covered, surrounded by these mountains. And the fact that there's snow on top of them makes it even more magical. And I kind of feel like we're somewhere in like Iceland or something with all the green. This is really cool. If you've watched enough of our videos about Bariloche, you'll know there's a lot of day trips you can do out of here. If I were to prioritize them though, I would say this is top of the list. Getting down the road in a rental car is really not that bad. It takes 2 hours from town, but just the views up here, it's unlike anything I've seen so far in Argentina, which is really cool because I love seeing a bunch of different topography in one little area. What'd you find?
This place is awesome!
After departing the waterfall, Shelby and I thought, surely it can't get any better than this. We were ready to head back to the car and get some tea at the tea house. But Colin had one more trail in mind.
After admiring the fresh snow in the mountains all day, how could we not take a chance to get up there? Even though it was beyond our time constraint, when we saw the sign for Refugio Automailing, I knew we had to at least try to get up there.
Turns out, Colin was onto something. As we climbed the switchbacks, we slowly got a little bit more snow on the ground, and the views continued to impress us. We made our way up to the top of the mountain so Shelby, a Floridian, could see some snow.
This is a classic Meredith.
can't do it every time.
Every time. People need to
I
know.
can make a montage of it.
We climbed and climbed, and the patches of snow got bigger and bigger. Then, out of nowhere, a beautiful winter wonderland opened up. Thank goodness. Oh my goodness. Boy, am I grateful. This one turned out okay. Although we never quite made it to the refugio, we did make it to this clearing. We were able to sit on a log and enjoy some mate while we warmed up. Then, back to exploring a little bit more of the snow. We were in luck that this was the first snowfall of the year. Unfortunately, that meant that when the temperature hit about 34 degrees Fahrenheit or 2 degrees Celsius, it started to melt, and those steep switchbacks on the way up, we thought might turn into some slippery switchbacks on the way down. So, to help Shelby catch his flight, we started our way back down. And to our surprise, we had no slips the entire way.
This has turned into one of my favorite hikes ever. I think I say that every time.
It's not so often the return journey is just as beautiful as the journey up.
Yeah, true.
Wow. Even if there's no snow in the mountains when you arrive to Pampa Linda, we still recommend doing this hike so you can see incredible views of the waterfall and the surrounding mountains. But then we were reminded about the one-way car rules, and the gate was closed until 4. It was only 3 o'clock, so we were trapped. There's no leaving this park. We quickly pivoted to get some coffee and an egg sandwich at the cabin. And here we go. As you can see, we were not alone. Full of people who made the same mistake we did. Even though we didn't plan on getting lunch here, we're really glad we did, as the cabin and the views were incredible. Once the ranger opened the gates at 4, we lined up in our cars to head down the road. We ended the day hiking 26 kilometers through snow, rivers, mud, up to waterfalls, up to glaciers, all around just an absolutely stunning landscape. Pampa Linda is a must-do when you're in the Bariloche area and one of our favorite activities that we did in the entire 6 weeks we lived there. We are so grateful to our friend Shelby who came out to have this adventure with us and experience some of the highlights of the beautiful town of Bariloche. It's happening. It's happening. Right before the bridge. It was good timing. Our newest adversary, hail. Oh, hell no. He thought it was funny.